What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. The team has now lost 4 in a row. So from 4-3 to 4-7, and they look like one of the worst teams in the NFL. So congratulations for that. And now you embarrass yourselves on Black Friday, the first Black Friday game. The team has embarrassed themselves, and I feel awful for all the fans that went to this game and spent their hard-earned money to watch this pure garbage. So going into the game, I think the Jets Joe Douglas was kind of in a lose-lose situation for this point. Was they started Tim Boyle. If Tim Boyle played well, the comment would have been like, what the hell took so long? Why'd you play him sooner? If Tim Boyle played terribly, it'd be like, why is he on the roster? So your backup options were Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, two guys that are clearly not capable of backing up Aaron Rodgers with a perceived win-now team. Well, lo and behold, Tim Boyle did not play well at all, and it makes you wonder why he was starting when you had Trevor Siemian, who's been your God knows how long by now, is the only accomplished NFL quarterback on your roster. You mean to tell me that Trevor Siemian can't put together a competent offense, like even manage an offense with this team? So Tim Boyle was terrible. He's like a statue in the pocket. He runs around. He just didn't look good, man. It is what it is. I understand it's his first start, but like your season was on the line, man. The last 2 weeks, it's like Bills, Dolphins must win to stay relevant, to stay in the mix. You got blown out in both games, and Tim Boyle was definitely not the answer. He's not the guy. Now, we were hoping the way I looked at it was anybody with Zach was my mantra, because I was tired of seeing Zach Wilson play horrendous football. Now that Tim Boyle also did that, you spin over to the play caller, Hackett as a play caller. The offense is terrible, man. It is only thing they can run is little dump passes to Breece Hall, little dump passes to Conklin. They do not go vertical at all. They have 2 plays to get 3 yards. They can't get that. They can't do anything on offense. It's the worst offense. This offense is worse than Gase and Luke Falk. At least we hated on Gase. At least that offense was functional. There is no rhyme or reason to this offense. They asked Saleh in the press conference, would they take away play calling responsibilities? He said, absolutely not. They said, well, why? And then he's like, well, sometimes it's execution. Sometimes it's the route. Sometimes it's the get off. Sometimes it could be a play call. The more he talked, the more he realized how bad the offense was, and he probably should change the play caller. The only thing you want is some kind of accountability. This is the worst offense in football. How do you stay status quo? Just say, hey, you know what? This week, Downing's calling plays. Carter's calling plays. Let the fans call the plays. Just act like you care and act like you want to win. The offensive line, once again, was a mess. They brought Dwayne Brown back, but he wasn't ready to play. The Dwayne Brown situation is a mess. That's your left tackle. Becton bailed him out for a while, but now it's like Carter Warren comes in. I mean, what do you expect there? Then you look at Max Mitchell was friggin' terrible. They're going empty backfield. They're sacking Boyd. They have 7 sacks. That was terrible. The running game, they still don't use Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook in the backfield at the same time. Don't understand that. It's like it's a colossal mess. Nothing makes sense. Why do you have Izzy active if you're not going to use him? And late in the game, they still have Dalvin Cook in there. Makes no sense. Then you have the drop passes, the pre-snap penalties. Like, you name it, they do it. The Jets are finding new ways to embarrass themselves. Weekly. It's getting worse. They're not competitive, and they're unwatchable. What I'd like to know is, when does Joe Douglas or Woody Johnson meet the media and just address this? Because the Jets they're irrelevant now. Their games are meaningless. The season's over, and you can make a case to fire pretty much everybody at this point, and it'd be justified. So you look at it, and I'd love to know when Woody Johnson, you walked around with a little chain, all proud of yourself. You're the king of hard knocks. When the Jets were the biggest story in town, you're all over the media. Come face it now. Come explain to your fans now what's going on with this product and what your thought is, right? You had no problem asking for season ticket money early and raising prices. Face it. And then Joe Douglas can explain. Joe Douglas made a calculated decision to bring back Zach Wilson, your backup quarterback this year, and he doubled down on it and he tripled down on it, and it cost them the year. Their decision to not have a competent NFL backup behind Aaron Rodgers cost the Jets the entire season. They mismanaged everything going forward. You look at Joe Douglas's decision today. Allen Lazard was a healthy scratch. That was in theory, other than Aaron Rodgers, your big time like acquisition in the offseason. Allen Lazard. Look at the playmakers you brought in to help the quarterback, right? Allen Lazard, terrible. Hardman, you traded away. Randall Cobb, not helping out. So you have Garrett Wilson, and then you have guys like like Brownlee, you got to count on. Irv Charles, guys like this to help this high-flying offense. That's what you're doing. You saw a little bit of Ruckert. Look at Dalvin Cook. Has that been a bust? Another bust. Carl Lawson, he's going to be gone. Money poorly spent. Laken Tomlinson's been average. The offensive line's been a mess. Beckton's been hurt 2 years. Now he's hurt again. AVT's hurt. Like, everything, nothing is working here. Like, and everybody keeps saying, you know what, bring back Aaron Rodgers. Like, at this point, like, do you really want, like, it's basically a 1-year hit with Rodgers. He's going to come back next year. It's going to be an all-in year. If he doesn't win at all, he's probably going to retire. And then what? Like, the Jets almost need a fresh start everywhere. Right? Do you really have, say the Jets get a top 4 pick right now. Do you have faith in Douglas? Or are they going to say, you know what, we're not going to go quarterback here because we have Aaron Rodgers, because we don't have a second-round pick. So you go offensive lineman or wide receiver for this one-year run with Rodgers, when in theory, you're going to need a quarterback, dude. You're going to need one. The rebuild is not too far away. And I understand they have a great defense, but your offense is a mess. And you have no faith in the ability of this head coach and the offensive coordinator to right the ship. It's bad, man. And it's like, and then this is the typical Jets. So the Jets offense looks putrid. Brandon Echols gets a pick 6. You're excited about that. You're back in the game. They missed the point after. It's like you just can't even have nice things, right? But you're like, all right, they're finding a way to stay in this game remarkably based on the defense. The offense isn't scoring points. The defense has to score points, right? So they go down and they get themselves in a Hail Mary position. Now, I thought the decision was smart. Any competent NFL team do the same thing. You know what? Throw it up. Maybe you get a pass interference. 9 times out of 10, either gets knocked down or your guy catches it short and they fall down. You go into the half, still a game, you have a chance. The New York Jets gave up a 99-yard interception return for a touchdown on a Hail Mary. Only the Jets, dude. Only the Jets. And that was the game. That was it right there. Because you know, defense is like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Like, we're scoring points for you. We're keeping you in the game. And now the offense is giving up points. The defense is probably like, I'm done. Like, I don't blame any guy on defense that quits. You know damn well tonight, anonymous sources are going to be coming back. There's going to be all kinds of, like, leaks and pissed off players. Probably Diana Rossini or Josina Anderson will have a report. The wheels are falling off the car. Like, the ship is sinking now. And now everybody's going to start, you know what? Cover your ass mode and start voicing your displeasure. It's going to happen. Think about a Hail Mary turned into a touchdown. This is like Kotite stuff. The things that we're seeing now are the things that we fired Adam Gase for, the things you fired Todd Bowles for, and the only reason we're not going to make a change is what? Because Aaron Rodgers is coming back next year? That's the only thing saving it. When you see all of the fundamental problems with this coaching staff, with the coach, the coordinator, their mindset, how they're handling things, I can't do it, man. You've really got to think about what the hell this team is doing. Listen, I love the idea of getting Rodgers here, but now it's basically a 1-year thing. And you're almost like the Jets look at this point. Rodgers comes back and he plays a couple games end of the year to prove that he can play. And he's like, you know what? I'm out. I'm retiring. That might be the best thing for the Jets because then he can retire. You can blow up this whole just blow up this team and just start over again. And that's it. I don't have any faith in this team going forward. Not this regime, not with this team. I don't have any. Maybe I'm just negative and just down and out and whatever else. But I don't know what else to do. Like, we're now, it's what? November 24th, the season's over, and I don't even want to watch the games anymore. They're not competitive. They're not fun. They're not competitive. You got, like, you're getting taunted on your own field by the Dolphins, man. It's just like, what are we looking at? And the other thing, too, you think about is that for the remaining games, 6 games left? How many of those games did the Jets have the better head coach on the field? How many of those games? How many points will the Jets score over the next, can they score more than 10 points over a week over the next 6 weeks? I mean, what is even the expectation? And the problem is the fans are going to give up and nobody's going to care and nothing's going to change. Because now we're just numb. Now we're like, you know what? Jets, Falcons, who cares? Nobody cares. CJ Stroud probably come in here, probably play well. But what's the... I cannot believe we're here again, man. This is a joke.